Hi guys, I wanted to do a short video about Fort Huachuca and possible MK Ultra ties. Let's go into what I found. So first of all, the jury is still out on Candace Owens' findings. So Mitch Snow, her witness, seems to have a terrible past. So we don't want to rely too much on that. But Andrew Corbett caught lying live. He provided a false alibi, apparently, for Erika Kirk, but the alibi was from September 9th, and the witness alleged that he saw Erika Kirk um, one day before. So that's a little bit strange. I think Brian Harper's alibi also doesn't really check out, but that's not the main focus of my video. So I immediately, like many of us, maybe thought of MK Ultra concerning the Fort Huachuca. I didn't find official connections, but this woman here said, my dad got a full pension from the army early 70s. He was stationed at Fort Huachuca, but he said it was there they ran experiments on them, gave them bowls of acid to desensitize them. So, and that only has 94 views, but it is from February. So we can't say that she just posted it because Fort Huachuca is on everyone's mind now. I found one article which is not mainstream. I just briefly mentioned it about Betty White from all people, the woman from Golden Girls. And this website claims the following. White's frequent visits to military bases, including Fort Huachuca, a no CIA training site, were logged under the guise of USO tours. Declassified visitor logs from the 1980s show her meeting with high-ranking intelligence officers, including those tied to MK Ultra's successor programs. Why was a sitcom star granted such access? I just wanted to briefly mention it, but the more interesting thing I found, and I think it will shock you also, is that Michael Aquino, the infamous Michael Aquino, got his training there. Here, this is the whole thing. It's a CV. I dug it up here. Military Intelligence Officer Qualification Course, Advanced U.S. Army Intelligence Center, Fort Huachuca. And of course, in truther circles, everybody knows who Michael Aquino is, the founder of the, how is it exactly called? The Satanist who founded the Temple of Set, 1975. So around the time when the woman said that here in the early 70s, he already got the full pension in the early 70s. In 75, Aquino got his training there. Here, there's a lot, Temple of Set, there's a lot, and of course, he was a specialist in psychological warfare. Isn't that interesting? And I found another interesting person there, Albert Stubblebine. Albert Stubblebine is the guy who led the Stargate program about remote viewing. And I also found a military article. He was there at the groundbreaking at one facility at Fort Huachuca, but the access is denied here because I use Opera here, and this is a VPN, US VPN. But I can deliver this article also under the video. It's not so important, but it's interesting that the access is denied. So, of course, remote viewing is not MK Ultra, but these things are connected if you dig deeper. I have it all in my new book, The Open Secret. So MK Ultra victims were also used to do all kinds of stuff, including remote viewing and connecting to the spiritual world to just put that out there. Of course, there's much more in my book, but these things interlock. So, and now it's interesting, Tyler Boyer introduced Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk, and he's a very shady character if you follow Candace Owens. And the interesting thing is, so this Mitch Snow claimed that he also might have seen Cabot Phillips, but since he is not reliable, I don't want to rely on that too much. But she lied that she was dating him. So she said she wasn't dating, I think, for 5 years before she met Charlie, but she was dating Cabot Phillips. There's no doubt about it. Here there are old screenshots of it. And interestingly, also Charlie Kirk himself played basketball with him. So he was friends already when he met Erika Kirk. Isn't that strange? And here we have him showing a photo with the word pizza on his lips. This video will also be on YouTube, so I don't know what we can say there, but I think everybody knows what this is. He made fun of this theory, which is already awkward, making fun of something like this. And Liz Crokin also discovered his library here. That's the Cabot Phillips post himself. And it's still on Instagram. I just checked it. I don't want to forget that's introducing the Arizonian Israel Public Affairs Committee that was with the son of Netanyahu, Erika and Tyler Boyer, the Israel connection. I just put that out here. So here, he read books on cannibalism, corpses, Israel's targeted assassins, and the CIA. I mean, what? What the F? I don't know what you can say on YouTube. So that's very strange, don't you think? Here, I summarize it. And he was outraged, writes Ms. Crokin, that the university held an event questioning if the Disney film Moana is a metaphor for rape. The logo for the Disney film literally included an FBI-identified pedophile symbol in it. And he was outraged about that. Isn't that strange? Here, yes, this is a real flyer. This one, here. So he seems to, yeah. This is also interesting. If you go to my old videos, you can't because they are all in German. Rachel Chandler plays a major role in all of this, apparently, and she also tattooed her lips. We don't know if this is just a fake video and it's a fake photo, but isn't it very strange that he uses the same thing like tattooing or making a photo where it seems to be that the lips are tattooed? Isn't that very strange? To put it mildly. And that's also very interesting. So somebody put out that there's a Rothstein is a cousin of her, but I didn't found evidence that this is the same family, the Mob family, but this is a proven fact. Erika Kirk's uncle Jack Salomon was a board member for the new Center of Jewish Studies at Utah Valley State College. I mean, how probable is that your uncle is a board member there and your husband gets killed there? What are the odds? That's also interesting that the Miss Arizona was also at Fort Huachuca, but not her, not Erika herself, who also was Miss Arizona. Still interesting. So there is some kind of connection. That's not the most important one. But now I come to something which is very, very interesting in my mind, and you might have read something about in the description of the video. So back to Jennifer O'Connell. She doesn't have much followers, but now look who is one of them. Thomas Massie. So Thomas Massie is following this woman who posted this. Isn't that very, very interesting? I only know it because I follow him, so I think nobody discovered it yet. I don't want to get too long, but I want to throw a theory out there. What if Charlie Kirk found out that Cabot Phillips and Erika Kirk are still together? What if they never separated? And he might have been gone voluntarily into that situation to let himself killed. That's why I think to two guys he posted, I might be or will be killed tomorrow, but he didn't apparently text it to Erika Kirk, which makes sense if he thought that he's somehow betrayed. It doesn't mean that they planned it, Erika Kirk and Cabot Phillips, but he just found out that they're maybe still together, and he seems to be a strange figure, to say the least. I don't want to accuse anybody of anything. I mean, since Mitch is not that reliable, I mean, that would be, if you saw Cabot Phillips and Erika Kirk on that Fort Huachuca, that would be, of course, if it could be proven, that would be sensational. But I think there will be no proof of that. So far, Erika Kirk didn't really give an alibi. I think there was maybe on that day there was a picture posted with her and her mom or something in the hospital, but that wouldn't be a proof. Um, I, I think it would be too strange when both really were there. Also, Brian Harpool, I mean, Brian Harpool doesn't stand out in his appearance, so he could have mistaken him. Erika Kirk would stay out, but since we don't know if we can rely on Mitch Snow, I don't know. I think that attacks on Candace Owens are totally unnecessary. What should she do? She has this witness. Maybe she could have dug a little bit deeper into his past, okay. But still, she just reports this witness sees that and now give you alibis. And of course, an alibi, you don't have to have an alibi for everything. I don't have an alibi for that day also. I don't know how to prove where I was, but it's one hint to further look into that direction. So I just wanted to give you the Fort Huachuca thing. I think it's a very strange facility. Very strange things are happening there. And that alone, maybe, I mean, even a criminal can be a witness to a crime. So it's very strange that this pops up. And if Candace is right that she checked that he really was there for whatever reason, he could have made the rest up, but isn't that already a strange coincidence? It's very spooky, all of that. And yeah, I defend Candace Owens to ask questions. The attacks on her are mostly on her character, which is always the same. And yeah, and if somebody, for example, Alex Jones could have given her this politician, I think he has an alibi now with the C-SPAN. He could have just called her and say, "Hey, I found this," and that's it. I mean, what are you doing? So even if Candace is wrong about things, she is asking the right questions, and she's the only one from the major figures.